Hello everyone, my name is Andrew, and then for my geology handbook project, I will be presenting climate change, deadly weather, water resources, mining, and mass wasting in Arizona. So the first topic that I chose was climate change in Arizona. Climate change is a change in weather patterns in a specific place over long periods of time. Overall, what creates climate change in our area is probably just human influence, like cars, manufacturing, and mining. Um, because putting CO2 into the air and it makes the temperatures here rise over time. And then, so my next piece of information, this is a graph by the NOAA, or better known as the National Centers for Environmental Information. As we take a look at the graph, since 1995, this is for the number of days that have reached 100 degrees in Arizona. So overall, since 1995, you can see that they stay pretty stable in like the early 50s, and then up over here in the 95, we can tell that it starts rising. We have a outlier here between 2000 and 2004, and then most recently is 2010 and 2014. This affects people because with hotter days, we will tend to see more people experiencing dehydration, and also if it continues to get hotter, the weather will be so bad that we'll start seeing a lot more casualties out there on the streets, especially in urban areas, because of just the dense amount of people and cars and the amount of emissions that we're shooting out into the air. Climate change leads me into my next topic, which is deadly weather in Arizona. So, deadly weather specifically is weather that is so severe that it causes casualties, and heat waves are weather events where temperatures reach an extreme high to where it causes casualties over a long period of time. They're starting to appear more and more because of climate change, because of rising temperature, and which I previously stated, it is affected mostly by human influence at this point. Um, According to AZ Family, 103 people have died in Arizona this year alone because of heat waves. 64 have been in Pima County, and another 39 in here in Maricopa County. And then this affects people because we are seeing more casualties in our state than other states. There were a few outside of Arizona, but it doesn't compare to the amount of people that died of heat waves here. And the only way to avoid this is making sure that you have air conditioning and being able and having access to drinkable water. This leads me to my next point, water resources. So these are sources of water on or beneath the surface that we can potentially use for consumption or in the environment around us, like agriculture. Sources of water that Arizona uses, because obviously we are very dependent of water. So here I have this graph. So 41% of the water that we use is groundwater. 36% still comes from the Colorado River. 18% is other surface water resources, and 5% is reclaimed water. The reason why we use 41% groundwater is because in 1980, Arizona passed the Groundwater Management Act, which it pushes urban growth to renewable surface water supplies, and it establishes an infrastructure in order to assure people that move into these urban areas that there is a 100-year water supply. Following that act, this allows people to live in Arizona without worrying about running out of drinkable water, especially during hotter seasons like the summer or the spring. And it also keeps our water prices lower because we can keep our water prices low because we know that we have enough supply to meet them. My next topic is mining. So mining is the process of extracting useful materials from the surface of the earth, and it also includes the sea, but we'll be focusing mostly on materials extracted from the earth. So the earliest mining in Arizona was by Native Americans, which just mined like auto crops that are visible, like salt, coal, just things like above ground or surface level. And then in 1854, the Arizona Mining and Trading Company, they were the first ones who began the modern era of hard rock mining. Today, Arizona now has mining districts that are categorized by specific environments and where certain deposits form. So this is the map here. So on this map, it only shows districts with values greater than 500,000. And this includes minerals like copper, lead, zinc, gold, and silver. The main mineral that we are known for is copper. We generate over 68% of the copper for the United States. And this is important because copper is a key resource to technological advance. And the last topic is mass wasting. So, mass wasting is a mix of rock, soil, and debris that moves down a slope. We can see from this photo here that a mass wasting event is beginning. It's not fully complete, but it seems to be almost there. Like, it looks like it's about like all of it's falling. And the reason this appears in Arizona is because of the steepness of our mountains and also the intense rain that we experience during monsoon season. Another example of this is an ancient landslide called the Marcus landslide, which happened in the McDowell Mountains about 500,000 years ago. In this landslide, there's about 5.5 million cubic meters of granite rock, which were also mixed with vegetation and soil as it traveled. And then it traveled east for about a mile. So and then here's a aerial of like the deposit. So why these events could affect people living in Arizona if we are building at the like bottom of really steep mountains. Before we go into the references, has my opinion of our state's geology and environment changed? Yes, because I learned a great deal in this class. I learned a lot about the state that I lived in, and possible natural disasters that could happen, and also the future of our water resource. I never even thought of that. It's like I never even thought about running out of water. But what's it called? But it is very interesting to see that we do have enough water to last us for our lifetimes. Anyways, thank you. And then these are my references.